Hey, Real Green Ninja here. The video you're about to watch is a supplement to the existing tutorials and help videos already available on the Real Green website. I do take a more casual approach because I'm presenting this information as I would if you called in, although I may have a little fun with it. This video is based upon the information I, as a Real Green technician, would provide using my experience on the help desk. This video was created on my own time to assist with areas of the software that may be waiting for an official help video or tutorial. At the beginning of the training video, I will have the version of the Service Assistant the video was made with. I will also try to be as accurate as possible, but be aware, as Service Assistant updates are released, things may change. I'm using the name Real Green Ninja as not to stand out from the other amazing technicians that I work with. I hope the information in this video helps you, so grab a cup of coffee, and I hope you learn something new. Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to talk about deposits, or as Real Green calls them, landscape deposits. Although you can use them for more than just landscaping. This is where you're pretty much taking part money down and then turning around and having it apply to a service. So for example, you're taking 50% down now, and then they owe you 50% after you perform the work. So let's begin. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into your data parameters, company parameters, general setup. This is where you're going to go into the miscellaneous tab and indicate how much percentage that they need to put down for this deposit to apply towards a service. Right now you'll see mine is set at 50%. So again, I expect 50% down now and then 50% at time of completion of the job. So once you do have that set, you're going to go to Data, Company Parameters, and Financial Parameters. This is where you're going to create that prepay code. Even though it says prepay, we're actually creating a deposit code. So we're going to click the new button here. We're going to call it whatever we want. Let's call it the Ninja Deposit. And spell it right. There we go. And so you can actually have many different deposits. You can have, for some reason I can never type and talk at the same time. Deposit, there we go. So again, you can have like a fountain deposit, you can have landscape deposit, you can have irrigation installation deposit. Again, you can have all sorts of different deposits, but what you're going to do, and what's the important thing about these deposits, is you're going to make sure that the all programs and all specials are unchecked. The reason is because when you put the payment in, you're not going to tie it specifically to a service. The service is going to be tied based upon what we selected down here. So I created a service as a work order service so I can do line item pricing, and I actually called it Super Sneak Attack. So again, when I use this deposit code, it's going to be able to apply money to this service. We're going to hit save. Oh, I forgot to put in the deposit code. So let's see here, SSA, Super Sneak Attack, and then save. Now, when you have a customer that you want to give this deposit to, well, the first thing you're going to have to do is give them the service that's tied to it. So again, I'm going to click on Add Services, Add Special Job, and in this case, I am going to go down and do that Super Sneak Attack, and then I'm going to make sure it's active because I want to make an active service. I plan to do it. I'm going to hit Save, hit my required fields, and again, for some reason, I don't know why I have estimated by. We'll give it to Sam here. And also, I'm guessing I'll probably have to put in an employee or a salesperson. And I'm going to hit save. And once I hit save, it'll give me a warning if I have services later in different service years. I did some renewals, and I actually have services that are like in 2018 and stuff like that. So I'm just going to disregard that message for now. But again, you're going to create the service. Now, because this is a work order service, you'll notice there is no pricing in there. I currently have it set up to be based on the actual time and materials. When you create the work order, you're going to decide if you want to do it based on estimate or actual. Again, this one's going to be based on actual, so I can show you how things work if you do that way. So again, I'm going to need to add some products to the work order, so I'm going to hit New. I'm going to select what products I want to add, and I actually did create some. I created Ninja Stars, as well as, I'm going to push my down arrow, I'm also going to put in blowgun darts. Okay, once I put those in, I have my estimated quantities. See, it's going to give me some pricing of what I think I might need. And let's say I need 5 of these Ninja Stars, and then of course I need maybe 4 of those blowgun darts. Again, I don't know. It's going to be a challenge. Once you do that, you will then get pricing. We're going to hit Save. I go back to the customer or the job screen. You'll now see that the pricing is $145. And you know what? I really don't like that odd number because my math is really stinks. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. Maybe make this 6 here. So again, I'm going to hit Edit. I'm going to change this to 6, and hopefully we won't end up with an odd number. Hit that. I'm going to go back to my job. Okay, 170. That's a little bit more usable. All right, so now, when I want to put the deposit in, I am going to click on the payment screen. And again, my limit, I have is 150 or 50%. So 170, half of 70 is 35, half of 100 is 50. So that'd be $85 deposit that this person would be making. Now, I'm not tying it to the service on this screen. Again, remember, the service is tied on the code when I created that deposit code. But what I am going to do is once I put in that amount, I'm going to uncheck the apply remainder to the customer balance. I am now going to select that deposit code I want to set it to. Once I've set it to there, I'm going to apply, and now you'll see it create another line entry for that deposit code. Once I do all that, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now I'm going to hit post. I don't print, preview, or export my journal, and now the payment's been applied. You'll see it's showing up as a prepay balance. So let's say this customer also prepays for their other services stuff. Again, you can set it up and you apply it to the prepaid codes accordingly, and so on and so forth. When you go to the aging tab, you'll see now we have this Ninja deposit and there's the balance, but again, it's not tied to anything. If I were to try to tie it to that whatever, or that code there, you'll see it'll actually create a remit because it needs to borrow the money in order to satisfy the $170. So again, this is why you don't tie it to the code on the payment screen. You tie it to the code on the actual when you create the deposit thing. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel here. Go back to prepaid adjustments. Again, we have $85. This is the one exception to having your balance and reserve match. Again, normally when you're doing prepay entry, or if you're trying to fix a balance or something, you want to make sure your balance and reserve match. Deposits are the exception. Okay. Once you have the deposit in there, if we go back to the service, wrong service there, correlation. I want the super sneak attack. Once we go back to the service, if we go into the work order screen and take a look at what the invoice would look like, and again, you configure it whether or not you want to show notes and job totals and all that stuff like that. We do a preview here. You'll see it will actually take that $85 off. So if I were to print this invoice, it would actually have a remit of $85. So again, when I could print out this invoice, go out, do the work, and then give them the invoice after service has been done. Now, when you post production on the job, what's going to happen is it's going to use that money up and generate a remit for whatever's remaining. Now again, maybe I didn't use as many supplies. Maybe I used, a few more, a few less. And so after I do the work, I do want to go in and make sure to update that work order. Well, helps if I grab the actually right one here. I want to make sure to update that work order accordingly. Now, of course, you would be printing probably like a work order for your employees. And again, your work order would be something like this. It's going to tell your employees what's expected to be used and so on and so forth. And also is going to indicate, that there's a balance tied to it or deposit tied to it. But again, we're going to go ahead and put in how many we actually did use. So instead of maybe using 6 of them, maybe we only use 5 of those stars. Okay? So again, I'm going to hit edit mode. I'm going to put in that we use 5 of the throwing stars, and maybe we actually use 5 blowgun darts. So again, you're going to put your quantities in there, and then once you do that, now when you post production, it's going to be priced off the actual amount used. So you notice that $170 now changed to $150. Why? Because we made some changes, and again, I'm pricing it off of actual quantities. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go ahead and click on done here. I'm going to put in the information, the date, also which employee did it, and let's say Cameron did this one. Hit save, post. Again, I don't print, preview, or export. We're going to click yes to post a work is completed. Now the customer's account has been charged. That money has been used. So if I refresh the tab, you'll see they'll actually now have a remit of $65. So again, just to recap, when you're doing a deposit, and again, what we call a landscape deposit here at Real Green, when you do a deposit, you're not going to tie the money to the service at the time of the payment entry. You're going to tie it to the service on the actual code itself under your financial parameters and prepayment. And again, you're going to select it and again, tie it here. But you got to remember to uncheck all programs and all specials. Otherwise, it is entirely possible that you might post production on something else like this correlation, and that prepaid money would actually be used towards that. So, hope this helps. One more reminder. Keep in mind, again, you got the help file. When you click that little circle with a question mark, it's going to open up the help file for you. And let's do a search here, and then let's do just deposits. Okay, again, there's a landscape deposits. Like I said before, this is going to help you guide you away and pretty much show everything I just showed you guys. All those screens look a little different because they're a little bit older on the help file. So again, one more time, I hope this helped, and you have yourself a wonderful day.